Hi everyone, this is Aaron for Zollotech, and we're going to take a look at the Droid Razr Max. The Razr Max is the alternative to the Razr and adds a gigantic battery that's good for over 21 hours of talk time, so that's pretty incredible. I haven't opened this, but let me go ahead and pop the top off here. So Verizon sent that along, and we'll set that aside. So here's the Razr Max, and it's going to be very similar to the regular Razr, only it's not as thin, and that's to include the extended battery. The battery life is supposed to be pretty incredible for all of those that have actually used the phone. So let me go ahead and see what else is in here, and then we'll take a look at the phone. So here's the wall plug. This is just a normal AC to two USBs. They've been doing this recently. And then we have a micro USB, typical Motorola adapter. We also have our documentation in here for Master Your Device, product safety and warranty, consumer information, and more consumer information in a different language. So let's go ahead and set this aside and take a look at the Max itself. Now, the Droid Razr Max looks similar on the front. Let me go ahead and remove this. Let me get this front screen and protector off here. And this is the Max. Now, to the right of this, I actually have the original Droid Razr. So you can see on the front, they don't look too much different, except for the Motorola at the top is black on the Droid Razr Max and silver on the regular Razr. Now let's go ahead and talk about specs. I'll zoom in here a little bit, and we'll go ahead and... Now this does not have a removable battery. On the side, we do have a little door, just like the other Razr, where it holds your micro SD card and your SIM card for 4G, which I'll go ahead and install after. But this SD card, let me see if I can get this out of here, is a 16 gigabyte micro SD card. So good size, upgradable to 32 gigabyte should you need that extra space. Now, reports are saying that they get a whopping 2 days out of running this. One report I read said they ran a video continuously. I think it's Engadget said that. They ran a video continuously and it lasted 16 hours or something crazy like that, just running video. So it's got a 3,300 milliamp hour battery for up to 21.5 hours of talk time. Let me go ahead and turn it on here. I'll grab the SIM card. I probably should have put that in first, but we'll take a look at the phone. Now, it has a QHD screen, and that's pretty good. I know there's been complaints of the screen on previous devices or the previous Razr, but overall it's pretty nice. It's 540 by 960, which is pretty nice. Looks good. It's nice and vibrant. It's a Super AMOLED Advanced QHD screen is what Motorola is calling it. So there we go. It has dual 1.2 gigahertz processor in it. It's got 16 gigabytes of internal RAM or memory, along with 16 gigabyte SD card like you saw there. So it's welcome to Droid Razr, and it's going to be your typical Motorola Razr, I think. But now the website for Motorola says it is ice cream sandwich upgradable. Now, why they don't have it in there to begin with, I don't know. I'd like to see more phones start getting ice cream sandwiches. It's great on the Galaxy Nexus. So let me go ahead and remove the SIM card. It's a micro SIM, as you can see here. This is for the 4G LTE connection. Let me go ahead and turn it off. I'll put the SIM card back in. Now on this phone, it's still got that cheesy feeling button on the side. It's a little bit better than this one, but it still feels a little loose, and I don't know why they do that. The rest of the phone feels very solid, and let me go ahead and put the SIM card in. We'll boot it back up and take a look at what we have here. See which way it tells you to put it in. It goes this way. You don't have a lot of room. This thing is pretty thin. And let me see if I can snap this in. It's pretty tough to get your fingers in there. There we go. It's snapped in place. We have a cover on the back I want to remove as well. Now this back has no battery. You can't remove the battery, but they do have Kevlar on the back, which is nice. And also it has a coating similar to Liquipel on it, I guess they're saying, so it resists getting wet at all, if you've seen that demo. So let's turn it back on. We talked about the screen and the memory and the processor. On the back we have an 8 megapixel camera that records in 1080p with a flash here. You can see there's your speaker. We have a microphone down here. On the side, again, we have that little door. On the front, we have a forward-facing camera. I believe it's a 1.2 megapixel. And then on the top, we have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, our HDMI, and micro USB. So overall, it's a typical Razer, pretty much. Now let me show you the side by side. So here's the Razer, here's the Razer Max. So not too much of a difference. They kind of got rid of this little hump a little more and added more battery. And the battery life should be pretty dramatic, which I'll be testing over time. Now, to give you an idea of the phone itself, I'll go ahead and set it up, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at it and see if there's anything different on it. I've set up the Razer, I've restarted it, it's activated, and here's the main screen. It looks just like it did before. I'm actually downloading an update, so I'll do that in another video. I'll download it, and once we review it, we'll take a look at the OS overall. But it's gingerbread, it's nice, smooth, the screen feels nice. Now, to show you how thin this still is, even though it's the Razer, and it has the extra battery in it, its bulk is not too big, it's not too heavy, and it's a 4.3-inch screen. I didn't mention that. But on the side here, here's an iPhone 4S. And so you can see, there's really no difference. In fact, it's slightly thinner on the side than an iPhone 4 is. So it's pretty impressive how thin it is, and still manages to have an incredible amount of battery life, according to any test I've seen. So we'll go ahead and test that out. Any 4G phone generally drains battery a lot faster than most of the others, and this is supposed to give you 20 hours plus talk time on 4G. So I don't know that I'm going to actually keep a phone call connected that long, but I'll go ahead and test it out and see what kind of battery life I'm getting on real use day to day. Overall, it's really nice, similar to the other phone, sleep, wake, and volume on this side, but just adds a little bit of thickness, which isn't a bad thing. It actually feels more comfortable in your hand because it's not quite too thin. This one feels almost too thin, and you don't have as much to hold on to. I know that kind of sounds weird, but it really does feel a little bit nicer in your hand because of that. Overall, though, seems nice. First impressions are it's the Droid Razer with a gigantic battery in it. So I'll test it out, like I said, and we'll check it out in the later review. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.